You're like a Nostradamus. I mean, that word in particular, a phony, in light of her book claiming originally that she met Kim Jong-un, that she stared him down because she was used to dealing with little tyrants who underestimated her. It's all lies. She tried initially when this came out to say, oh, it was my team and I had it corrected as soon as it was brought to my attention. That's also a lie because she recorded the audio of it in her own voice saying the exact alleged lie. Now they've had to pull all that from the audiobook. It'll be on the bookshelves in Barnes & Noble and elsewhere today because they couldn't get it out of the written book, but it's out of the electronic. And now she continues to try to dodge and weave around this error, if you want to be super generous. Here's just a sample of her on with Jesse Waters last night, Hot 20.
They're also attacking you. I guess you said you met Kim Jong-un. Did you meet him?
I've been to the DMZ. I've been to North Korea. You know, people, I don't talk about my conversations with world leaders. And so when I looked at the book and I saw that excerpt, I decided to make the change to the content of the book, and that's been done.
So you didn't have a conversation with Kim when you were at the DMZ?
I don't have conversations about my conversations with world leaders. I've been working on policy for 30 years, Jesse, and that's what most people don't remember about me is I'm old.
You're very important.
I'm a mom, I'm a grandma. I've got 3 little grandbabies.
You're not that old. So maybe you did have a conversation with Kim, but you don't want to talk about it.
I will not talk about my personal conversations with any world leaders. It just won't, and I'm not going to do it.
What have you...
I know.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
It's an absurdity. Amazing. It's infuriating. I have to tell you, like, as somebody who cross-examined for a living for 10 years, that kind of clip drives me insane, Buck. It drives me insane. There is a way of pinning her down on her nonsense, and I've yet to see anybody do it.
Oh, well, this is who she is and who she's always been. I mean, you pointed out, I appreciate you calling me Nostradamus. I just like to think that I have the tool set of a CIA analyst from back in the day when we used to obsess over details and specifically veracity. One thing about being an intelligence officer, in the good sense, forget about all the deep state stuff and all the things that have happened that people get upset about, is that you have to spend a lot of your time sifting through information and then verifying information, because you generally get a lot of stuff that is nonsense, and then the stuff that you think is good, you have to really, really be sure. Okay, how does that apply to Kristi Noem? This is the Kristi Noem playbook, and it's to get caught being ridiculous and being a fraud, and then to stare at people and say, well, this is how we do things on the ranch, sir, and just act indignant. And people have been going for this for years. I mean, you mentioned the little incident from a few years ago, and people also saw this on Tucker Carlson's TV show on Fox at around the same time. She very openly said she was going to sign a bill that would have protected women when it comes to transgender men pretending to be women in sports. And then she went back on that. And then she tried this whole routine of, oh, it's a trial lawyer's dream. And, oh, you don't understand Section 7259 of the South Dakota Constitution, sir. No, you lied. We actually just know you lied. We're not all stupid. And, you know, I'll say this. People who know me and have known my work, I mean, I've been doing this a while, even back in the day when I was getting started, and Megyn was so kind to have me on her massive show on Fox in the A block talking about terrorism. Thank you, Megyn.
Many times.
But many times. And I always appreciate that. But, you know, you look at this and you see how she's been doing this for a long time, and there's nothing new really here. There's nothing that I think people should understand. She's been pretending to be ultra conservative in a very red state. And what she does is the moment she's challenged on something, she runs the same routine, the same playbook that she always has in the past. And like, for example, on the transgender bill, she tweeted that she was going to do it. And then she just created this whole nonsense about how, well, no, actually, I never said. Well, it's in writing. You clearly said it. But she exploits, I think, a sense of identity and a sense of people feeling like they have a connection to her because of her personal story or whatever it might be. And then she always goes on offense. And so she essentially, there's like a little mini Noem cult. And the moment that you call her to account, she all of a sudden gets angry at you, and she doesn't take accountability for it. And this was, by the way, on COVID. She also decided not to protect people from vaccine mandates, private ones. in her state. Ron DeSantis made a different choice, but she got very upset.
That's one of the things that you guys fought over. Had to dust up, whatever. Here's a little bit of that from 2021.
When I'm not governor anymore, how do I know the next governor won't use that exact same precedent to use it to limit the freedom?
But you are the governor now, Governor Noem, and right now we're at a point where there are mandates going. People are having to get shots right now. People are facing losing their jobs right now. Well, why not be a person who is taking a stand in favor of individual freedom, which I believe is actually the primary purpose of the Constitution? Why not do that?
And there is nobody in this country that would say that no other governor took more heat over defending liberty and freedom than I did this last year.
I mean, I think Governor Ron DeSantis might disagree, but keep going.
Keep going. You keep going, Buck.
Oh, it's just so obvious. And the truth is that she always points to not shutting down her state during COVID. But I haven't even gotten to the dog shooting, the bragging about the dog shooting.
We're going there. And we have the audio. We have the audio.
Shooting on top of the dog shooting and then making a joke about how she wants to shoot the president's existing dog.
Yep.
This is like sociopathic. I'm sorry, I don't want to jump around too much.
No, she's like a serial killer.
Well, I mean, on COVID, I sniffed this out because she was playing this whole game, and I saw what she did to Tucker on TV, and I've seen what she's tried with other people, which is everyone else is dumb but her. You know, when you're speaking to some of the smartest minds in media, and you're speaking to people that have been in this game a while, and your response is always, you just don't know enough, sir. This is how we do it on the ranch or whatever. You're the problem. And that's been the case with Kristi Noem for a long time. Her aggressive strategy, the little cult she's built around her. And people, this is what I wanted to get to before. Anyone who's known my work for a long time, I mentioned this to go on your show. I don't attack people on the right. I generally have no enemies to the right. I don't pick fights with people. I love the success of fellow radio hosts. I mean, I applaud the Daily Wire doing cool stuff. I love Dan Bongino fighting for America. Like, I'm on the team. But when I see somebody who's being a fraud and taking advantage of people on my side who are well-intentioned and who will want freedom and who want effective and competent leadership, it does bother me, you know, when they're being lied to in a way that I think affects them. So that's where the original thing with Noem came up. And now, yeah, I mean, I was right. I was right all along, and I'm right now. And some of the people that have emailed me, you know, years ago, why are you being so hard on her? I was like, because she's a phony. And now everyone knows she's actually kind of worse than a phony.
She's a phony. She's a poser. And she won't be honest about her own shortcomings, even when she's caught red-handed. That exchange with Jesse Waters, I don't have conversations about my conversations with world leaders. No one's asking you about substance. We're asking you, did you meet with him or didn't you? You're the one who brought it up, ma'am. You put it in your book. Did it happen or didn't it? And by the way, when you then claim when it was brought to who brought it to your attention? When? Why did you read the audiobook? When you read out loud, I met with Kim Jong-un and I stared him down. Did it occur to you that you were telling a lie? Because most of us would have a very clear memory if we had met with the leader of North Korea. It's kind of a big deal. Did you correct it then? Were you embarrassed? Did you go back through tooth and comb over your entire ghost-written memoir to make sure there were no other errors? Because you also appear to have lied about a meeting with Emmanuel Macron. How many lies are there in this book? And why should we believe you on anything, especially now your revisionist history about why you really shot your puppy, which she's now claiming the dog was basically a serial killer and not her?
It was a 14-month-old dog of a breed that I'm familiar with and have dealt with in the past. The notion that that kind of a dog is a threat to people, she's lying. And for anyone who's like, well, why are we spending time on this? She was the #1 VP candidate according to the betting markets. And
That's right.
This is the kind of thing in a super tight election. What do I want? I want Donald Trump to win. I want Republican majorities in the House and the Senate. I do not want some abject fraud to be the difference between victory and defeat for the Republicans. How could I take any pride in my job if I would be silent when I truly believe, and as you pointed out, I believed it for a long time, that this is somebody who is dishonest with her own supporters and is dishonest with the American people, and also brings a kind of nastiness. And I haven't even gotten into the personal stuff, and I won't because I don't think I need to go there.
But we've reported on it.
You have reported on it?
Yeah, the audience, we reported on this show, the Daily Mail's in-depth reporting about her alleged affair with Corey Lewandowski, and the denials of which were absolutely pathetic and transparent. And I believe 100% it happened. That's my opinion.
Yeah. I have excellent sourcing on this, and I absolutely agree with you. So I'll say that. I mean, I have a lot of people that I know in DC and in political circles, and we talk a lot. And guess what? But I'll put that aside because honestly, I don't want to be accused of being having a double standard because some male politicians obviously get away with a lot of stuff in that realm. But on the telling people the truth about what you stand for and where you'll actually fight and whether you're a person of any integrity whatsoever, Megyn, I mean, I can't help but laugh. She's saying she won't talk about meetings with world leaders based on a section of her book where she's talking about meetings with world leaders. And she thinks she prepared this. She went on Jesse Waters' show, and Jesse was, Jesse's a very nice guy. Jesse
too nice there.
Again, see, I don't want to attack people on the right. We have communists.
I'm not attacking Jesse. I've known Jesse a long time. I think he would take my feedback as Jesse. There's a different way to do it.
100%. I didn't mean it like that, but I'm just saying, even just, I don't want to call him out for being a little too softer in the interview, but I think he was, but it's okay. I really like Jesse. But the point is, she thought people are looking to her for an answer on this. She thinks that's a legitimate answer, and she's defiant about it. Notice there's no sense of remorse. Whether it's the dog shooting story, which she included in the book, and I love dogs, and I tell everybody that, so I'm very honest about where I'm coming from. She included that in her book because she thought it made her look like she makes tough decisions, so she should possibly lead America, not just as vice president, everybody. The whole game plan is vice president to president. And I'm sorry, that to me is just a bridge way too far for a person who has no record of actual legislative achievement to be proud of, and lies in a way that makes a mockery of all. It makes a mockery of all of us. Well, we're going to pull the lever and be like, yeah, I'm so excited about the Noem candidacy. Really?
A recent survey found that 7 in 10 parents get an average of 3 hours of sleep a night in their baby's first year. Wow. Moms, you deserve quality sleep. And here's a solution: Cozy Earth. Discover the secret to better sleep with Cozy Earth's luxurious bedding products and get an exclusive Mother's Day offer just for you. Use the code Megyn, MEGYN, for 35% off at CozyEarth.com. Cozy Earth bedding products are crafted with temperature-regulating technology, adapting to your body's needs through all phases of motherhood. Worried about commitment? Enjoy a 100-night sleep trial and a 10-year warranty on all purchases. Built to last through the hardest days and longest nights of motherhood. This Mother's Day, treat mom to the luxury she deserves with Cozy Earth bedding and sleepwear, and prioritize self-care and sleep health. Head on over to CozyEarth.com. Use the promo code Megyn for 35% off. And after placing your order, select podcast in the survey and select my show in the drop-down menu that follows. Thank you so much for doing that. Hey, thanks so much for watching. If you like what you just saw, hit the subscribe button for more clips and full episodes.